This is it's a major milestone, and I realize it's a highly classified program and it's been very secretive up until now, but what can you share about what we're going to see at the unveiling tonight and how it speaks to the capabilities of this sixth-generation aircraft?
Well, the B-21 Raider is a long-range strike aircraft, and what that means is it has the range to go anywhere in the world.
And when I think about the mission statement of the United States Air Force, the fly, fight, win, air power, anytime, anywhere, that's what the B-21's about.
A new chapter is unfolding in the story of American air power. At the heart of this transition is the B-21 Raider, Northrop Grumman's next-generation stealth bomber and one of the most significant military aircraft developments of our time. For decades, U.S. strategic bombers such as the B-52 and B-2 have defined the contours of deterrence and global power projection. However, in the face of rapidly evolving threats, the U.S. Air Force has pushed forward to renew its fleet with a platform designed for the complex challenges of modern warfare. That vision is now embodied in the B-21. Today, the B-21 program is advancing from concept to operational reality. Flight test campaigns are underway at Edwards Air Force Base, and Northrop Grumman's production lines are moving at pace, signaling an era defined by urgency and focused execution. Congress has earmarked $4.5 billion specifically to ramp up B-21 production. Current official statements and credible reports indicate that around 40 Raiders are in various stages of production, a significant signal of intent as Northrop Grumman and the Air Force aim even higher. While the B-21's cutting-edge design is groundbreaking, what sets this program apart is Northrop Grumman's approach to building and deploying these bombers. Departing from the conventional prototype-based process, Northrop Grumman is building its test aircraft to full production standards from the start. This methodology is intended to compress timelines, lessen transition risks, and ensure the Air Force receives battle-ready bombers more rapidly than traditional models could deliver. As dialogue intensifies around accelerating manufacturing, bolstered by calls for a production rate of up to 20 B-21s per year, the future structure of the U.S. bomber force is being shaped in real time. The path Northrop Grumman is charting raises vital questions. How is the company organized to meet unprecedented demands? What lessons and decisions are guiding this rapid scale-up? And most crucially, can the newest American bomber be fielded quickly enough to maintain the security edge in a volatile world? The answers to these questions are found inside Northrop's strategy to scale up B-21 Raider production, where innovation and military necessity converge. Northrop's vision, building for combat from the start. The leap from prototype to production has often been the most challenging element in military aviation. Traditionally, defense contractors build experimental aircraft, identify and fix major issues, and then transition to building combat-ready models. This incremental method can lead to delays, increased costs, and compromised readiness. On the B-21 program, Northrop Grumman has deliberately rejected this paradigm. Rather than constructing a series of bespoke prototypes with significant variances from the eventual operational standard, every test aircraft is being built to match the configuration of what the Air Force will fly in combat. This means the test aircraft are structurally and functionally comparable to frontline bombers, ready for potential combat deployment if required. The rationale behind this decision blends technical necessity with the strategic need for speed. Modern stealth bombers are complex, involving sophisticated structures, sensitive radar-absorbent materials, and advanced systems integration. The demands of deep penetration operations in highly contested environments mean that even small flaws are unacceptable. By aligning the test process with production standards, Northrop Grumman enables analysis and feedback based on the actual hardware destined for combat use. Issues discovered during flight tests directly inform changes to the production line, closing the loop between testing and operational deployment. This approach brings tangible benefits. At Edwards Air Force Base, the B-21's test campaign employs aircraft that serve as blueprints, not outliers. If global events demand it, these same airframes can be fielded by operational squadrons. The Air Force has publicly affirmed that early B-21s could, if necessary, be used in combat. This concept dramatically reduces the time and uncertainty typically associated with transitioning from developmental to operational aircraft. The shift also reflects the realities of modern deterrence. Time is a critical variable. The longer the delay in bringing new systems online, the higher the risk to national preparedness. By starting with production-quality aircraft, Northrop Grumman is working to mitigate the pitfalls that have affected past programs and seeking to set a new pace for U.S. bomber acquisition. This blurring of lines between test, production, and combat use represents an adjustment across the defense industrial base, mirroring the urgency of today's security environment. The funding surge, congressional backing and strategic stakes, ambitious production strategies require robust resources. The B-21 Raider program, unlike several of its predecessors, has received substantial and consistent financial support from Congress. In a rare demonstration of bipartisan consensus, lawmakers have authorized $4.5 billion expressly for B-21 production expansion, underlining the bomber's perceived value to national security. This funding commitment is more than an administrative gesture. It signals an understanding that delivering a new bomber fleet quickly is not a luxury, it's a necessity. These funds are designated to speed up production, not just continue development, and provide the certainty needed for the industrial base to scale effectively. For Northrop Grumman, congressional appropriations remove a significant element of risk. The assurance of substantial, sustained funding increases confidence in hiring, tooling, and investing in long-term manufacturing capabilities. For a program as technically demanding as the B-21, requiring cutting-edge stealth technologies, advanced manufacturing processes, and a skilled workforce, this financial security is indispensable. Strategically, the stakes are high. If B-21 production falters or lags, a capability gap could emerge in America's long-range strike forces. The Air Force's legacy platforms, the B-1, B-52, and B-2, are aging, and maintaining technical superiority depends on timely delivery of new aircraft. Every year that new bombers are delayed is another year that adversaries can operate with less concern about U.S. long-range strike capability. Congressional investment is thus not simply budgetary, it is an operational and strategic bet that ramping up B-21 production enables the U.S. to maintain credible deterrence. Whether this pays off depends on Northrop Grumman's ability to translate funding into large-scale, high-quality deliveries at speed. Flight testing, proving the production model. Production resources and planning mean little unless translated into proven capability. As of May 2025, the B-21 is in active flight testing at Edwards Air Force Base, a program distinguished not only by its scale, but by its use of production standard aircraft from day one. This test regimen is critical, as every flight provides insights directly relevant to the aircraft, soon to join operational squadrons. Any issue identified, be it maintenance, avionics, stealth coatings, or structural dynamics, is experienced and solved on the same design that will go forward into production. This approach stands in stark contrast to legacy acquisition models, where test airframes often differ so greatly from final products that lessons learned can be difficult to implement. At Edwards, these flights serve a dual purpose, validating the design and refining operational concepts. The collaboration between test pilots, engineers, and Air Force operators ensures a robust exchange of feedback, contributing to both continual hardware refinement and the development of new tactics and procedures. Notably, Northrop Grumman's decision to produce test aircraft to operational standards means these planes can be quickly fielded should a crisis arise. The Air Force has confirmed that, if required, the earliest B-21s could be deployed. This fact underscores both the readiness of the fleet and the seriousness of integrating manufacturing, testing, and operational preparation. Each flight at Edwards thus shortens the timeline between design and deployment, while supporting a cycle of continual improvement. This dynamic program is instrumental in meeting the Air Force's demand for combat-ready stealth bombers, scaling up toward 20 bombers per year. As testing advances and funding surges, a new strategic debate has come to the fore. At what rate should B-21 bombers be built? The Department of Defense has identified a production target of 20 aircraft per year, a pace designed to rapidly augment the U.S. bomber fleet and ensure robust deterrence. Achieving this target requires more than incremental increases in assembly speed. Northrop Grumman must maintain the high standards required for a deep penetration stealth platform while ramping up throughput. Building 20 B-21s annually would notably accelerate the transition away from aging assets, boosting capabilities for contested environments, and preserving the strategic edge. Northrop Grumman's manufacturing enterprise can expand output at its existing facility, an advantage that avoids the delays associated with building new plants. Statements from both the company and the Air Force confirm that scaling is viable at the current production site. With clear congressional backing and defined demand from the Defense Department, the company is empowered to make decisive investments in workforce, tooling, and supply chain capacity. Consistent production targets bring much-needed predictability to the industrial process. Suppliers, subcontractors, and skilled laborers can be onboarded and retained, while investments in automation and advanced manufacturing processes can be justified against a known pipeline of work. This predictability, in turn, supports the mission of delivering bombers at the scale and cadence required by national strategy. The urgency of this effort stems from the broader strategic context. Each additional year with a smaller fleet restricts U.S. global reach and provides adversaries opportunities to exploit vulnerabilities. In this environment, the move towards 20 bombers per year is not simply a milestone, it is essential to maintaining the balance of deterrence and operational capability. Negotiating the production ramp, industry and Air Force alignment. While production lines and test flights make headlines, much of the critical work is happening in ongoing negotiations between Northrop Grumman and the Air Force. Recently, Northrop Grumman acknowledged being in discussions with the Air Force regarding the potential for an accelerated production ramp for the B-21. These talks will shape the pace and nature of the program for years to come. Ramping up production at the desired rate is an intricate challenge. While increased speed can address strategic needs, the technical complexity of the B-21 means any attempts to accelerate must be balanced by sustained focus on supplier reliability, workforce proficiency, and rigorous quality assurance. Past defense programs have shown the consequences of moving too quickly at the expense of structural and systems integration discipline. The objective in these negotiations is to reach an annual production rate that is aggressive yet realistic. Northrop Grumman seeks sustained clarity and resourcing, while the Air Force remains focused on receiving a steady flow of war-ready aircraft. Central to these discussions is a shared understanding of lessons learned from legacy programs and the recognition that effective ramp-up requires close, transparent collaboration across all levels of the program. Key considerations include whether a steady-state delivery model, where 20 aircraft are delivered every year, provides optimum benefits, or if surge capacity for periods of accelerated delivery is warranted. Both approaches require robust industrial infrastructure, but each comes with its distinctive risks and benefits. The direction, for now, is toward establishing a predictable, high-cadence production rhythm in sync with operational priorities and available resources. Every negotiation and technical review brings the program closer to realizing this goal. Operationalizing early aircraft, strategic agility. Northrop Grumman's decision to build every test B-21 to the same standards as combat aircraft is central to the strategy of operational agility. This approach accelerates both readiness and tactical adaptability. For the Air Force, having test aircraft functionally indistinguishable from production versions means that if deterrence fails and conflict erupts unexpectedly, the entire available inventory, including initially test-designated aircraft, can be mobilized immediately. This model removes long-standing bottlenecks in fielding major weapon systems. Traditional practices often resulted in valuable test airframes never entering service, tied up in extended developmental roles. By contrast, The B-21 approach ensures all assets are available for the operational fleet as soon as possible. Operationalizing early aircraft also enhances feedback between users and manufacturers. Maintenance crews, pilots, and tacticians gain immediate exposure to the same platforms that will constitute the core of long-term capability. This cycle of frontline feedback directly benefits future production, driving iterative improvements grounded in actual usage and real-world scenarios. For Northrop Grumman, manufacturing to combat standards from the outset increases rigor and highlights areas for process and quality enhancement. For the Air Force, the immediate availability of all produced aircraft is a force multiplier, delivering both flexible capacity and early opportunities to develop doctrine and tactics based on real equipment. Statements by Northrop Grumman CEO Kathy Warden have reinforced the substantial progress already made. She has cited approximately 40 B-21 bombers already underway in the production cycle. These are not limited to test or demonstrator roles. They form the foundation of the next era in U.S. strategic bombing. With the first B-21s arriving on the ramp, the Air Force is better positioned to experiment, adapt, and prepare for the future with a stealth bomber fleet built for immediate use. 40 Raiders and counting strategic impact. The confirmation that roughly 40 B-21 Raiders are already in production signals a transition point for U.S. long-range strike capability. With these aircraft progressing through various phases of assembly and testing, the U.S. is setting the foundation for a transformed force structure. The scale of this development is not just in numbers. The B-21 introduces advanced stealth shaping, modern communications and sensor suites, and flexible mission payloads that collectively mark a generational leap beyond legacy systems. The presence of dozens of these bombers in the pipeline sends a strong message about America's sustained commitment to retaining its qualitative and quantitative edge in strategic aviation. A larger force of B-21s expands operational options, enabling persistent presence, rapid surge operations, and the capacity to hold multiple targets at risk globally, complicating potential adversaries' planning and response options. Crucially, the steady flow of new bombers diminishes the window of vulnerability that a drawn-out acquisition program might otherwise present. However, building a critical mass of B-21s is not enough by itself. These aircraft must enter the force swiftly and at a tempo that matches both operational requirements and the evolving threat environment. Congress's commitment remains vital, ensuring the support required to sustain production and integration at the planned rate. The intent is to reach an inflection point, a moment when the new bomber force is not only modern, but sufficiently numerous to effect deterrence in practice. The credibility of U.S. global strike capability rests not on what is promised for the future, but on what is delivered and made operational now. Strategic payoff. Redefining military production. Inside Northrop Grumman's B-21 initiative, there are signs of a broader transformation underway in how major defense platforms are built and fielded. The B-21 program integrates the testing, manufacturing, and operationalization cycles to an unprecedented degree, compressing timelines and increasing the feedback between design and use. The traditional model, where test aircraft are essentially one-off prototypes and production comes years later, is giving way to an integrated, feedback-driven approach. The benefits are multifold: faster delivery, rigorous quality at every stage, and the ability for early operational units to inform product evolution with real-world data. This approach requires intensive discipline and continuous partnership among Congress, the Department of Defense, and industry leaders. It is not risk-free. Challenges remain in maintaining quality under increased throughput, managing supplier networks, and adapting to changing national security requirements. However, the early results, manifested in flight test progress, growing production numbers, and immediate operational utility of initial airframes, demonstrate the potential payoff. Test aircraft virtually indistinguishable from production, early jets prepared for rapid deployment, and an industry aiming for an annual output of 20 units all point toward a new playbook for national security acquisition. With ongoing congressional support, the Air Force is positioned to field a force of advanced bombers on a timeline more closely aligned to contemporary threats. As the B-21 Raider moves from vision to operational reality, the American approach to deterrence is evolving. No longer is new capability slowly phased in. Instead, the Air Force is poised to introduce a fleet of next-generation bombers that blend speed, scale, and survivability as foundational elements. The impact of this transformation will be felt not only in the air, but across every aspect of U.S. military planning and allied assurance. Ultimately, Northrop's B-21 strategy reflects the demands of strategic competition, where success favors organizations that can build, adapt, and deliver at pace. The emerging force of B-21 Raiders is more than a collection of new airframes. It's a manifestation of modern military necessity, shaped by urgency, resourcefulness, and disciplined execution. The future of American air power, embodied in steel, stealth, and operational resolve, is taking flight, with the B-21 Raider as its signature. As these aircraft join the fleet, the U.S. stands to reassert its place at the forefront of global air power, ready to meet current and future threats with unmatched capability and responsiveness.